How's it going, man?
Good morning. Welcome.
Nice. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Greatest in laser technology. The latest methods are to use a fiber optic cable to bring the laser beam to the plate steel rather than mirrors, and the gases that are used to cut have changed. But this is the leading edge technology for cutting plate steel.
What did you have to use to do?
We have two other laser cutters still, but the gas that's used for the cut is a little bit different, and there's mirrors to control where the laser beam is going, and it's a lot slower.
Wow.
There's some unique features here. Like a lot of decks, the grass will kind of go around the edge of this baffle.
Yeah.
By having these teeth here, it'll cause it to get cut right away without getting missed out over here.
Gotcha.
And the height of this is going to control your airflow.
Yeah.
This is going to be a floating deck model, so it has a tubular frame. The next machine is going to be a small Stander, which has a fixed deck on it. It doesn't have a frame. Very few moving parts in that kind of a machine, so it's really tough. These machines are more versatile. One of the things that helps a belt last a long time is using bigger pulleys that reduces the tension on the belt. And this is one of the biggest pulleys you'll see in this thing.
Know like anything about the Wright history and the family business and everything, can you briefly explain some of the history behind it and how you're involved?
Sure. So this is the short version of it, I guess, is that our owner, Bill Wright, and also my dad, he founded the company around 1980. Started out as cutting grass. He was right out of college. He moved into the area, and my uncle started working for him in the summers. And after a couple years, he was working as an auto mechanic at the time. after a couple of years, he got into full-time, quit his job and was running the landscape business. And, he always he was very much on the business management side of it, how to optimize things, how to keep costs down, keep production up, and whatnot. So that brought him towards the equipment. He was also very analytical about the operations. So on the equipment side, he started making grass catchers and selling them back to his dealer. And that sort of created a manufacturing operation that we did during the winter. We cut in the summer with the same people. And that sort of escalated. We were using belt drive or gear drive walk behinds at that time, and that was wearing out guys. If you're walking that many miles a day, you can only do that until you're so old, and then you're going to say, I need a new career.
Yeah.
So the Valky helped production and helped keep people for more years. So that was the Valky, and it was sort of a natural progression to say, hey, we're standing behind this machine, why don't we stand on it? And so
nice. I like that
that
slogan.
stand on mower. And Bill has always had this conviction that if you don't make your own product go obsolete, then somebody else will. And he saw this, this sulky and saying, how do we ensure that this thing doesn't go obsolete, that we have the next solution that's needed? So that started the concept of a stand-on mower. At the same time, another company had taken what was in their patents and went straight to production with it, so we had competition real early on. And that was some hard times for us. But
What company was that? Are they still around?
That was Great Dane.
Great Dane.
So that was for a couple of years, but then we had a good run of exclusive rights to that patent, and that let us get our feet underneath us. And today, a lot of other people are joining the market, which is good from the mowers are better, the prices are more competitive than they've been, and the awareness is much greater. So standing on a mower is something that people relate to now.
Yeah.
That's very good for us. We've grown a lot the past couple of years.
So are you the original stand-on mower,
Yeah.
or you competed with Great Dane for that title?
I think he probably sold the first machine,
Okay.
but what had come out was that he had copied what was off of our patent
I
application.
gotcha. Obviously, you guys have the longevity, so
Yeah.
gotcha.
He was only in it for a couple of years before he redesigned the machine
Yeah.
to a license that we gave him. So the one where he actually stood between the wheels only lasted for a little while.
Gotcha. All right. So you're the original. Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that.
Yeah. So what was the progression of the company, and then where you got involved? Like, what do you even remember? Like, what was how old were you when this kind of all started becoming a thing? Where you went from landscaping to manufacturing, and then kind of started switching into manufacturing more?
So I was very fascinated by the manufacturing side of this from a young age, and I was given the opportunity to do the odd jobs here and there. One of the first jobs that we did was we put together hardware kits in our basement. 2 bolts, 2 nuts, 2 washers, a piece of paper, staple it shut. So we did things like that when we were really young. Once we were old enough to work in the shop, had different odd jobs of working on small parts. I welded for a couple summers, and then when I got into college, I started getting involved in the design side of things. And so since I'm 33 now, so since then I've been involved in designing mowers. This past year, a little bit more towards the market side of things as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought you were involved in the marketing.
Yeah.
So that's more recent then.
Yeah.
So you've always been like really behind the actual designs and all
Yeah.
of the guts and glory of the machines.
Yeah.
So we have you to thank. Thank
Sure.
you. Awesome. And what about the rest of your family? So you said you have siblings,
Yeah.
correct?
There's a lot of us. There's 10 of us kids in the family.
Wow.
But there's 3 of us that are in the business right now. It's still some younger ones that they'll have to figure out what they want to do with their life. There's no expectation that they have to be in the business, but if they're interested and they want to apply their work ethic, and it's an open door too.
And your dad is still an active.
He's our CEO,
Employee
and
active
he looks
member.
after what it is that we're doing next, and
Yeah.
some of the programs that we have and that kind of thing.
Awesome.
He's not necessarily in the office every day, but he's involved in directing the business every day.
So who's like on your team, or who do you report to? Your dad? Do you have anyone else, or?
So John, he's our president. I report to him. He looks after a lot of the governance of the business and a lot of different functions around the business.
Right.
And so my responsibility is kind of the outside half of it. Sales, marketing, support, the product, what makes up the product, the engineering side. So all those folks report to me. Then my next younger brother looks after the factory side of things. The production is going as it should, that we're optimizing what we're doing, being cost effective, on-time delivery, quality's there. And then we have Andrea, and she's looks after the health of the organization and the HR side of things.
So how many brothers and sisters? Like what's the number of each brothers and sisters?
There's a pattern to it. There's 4 boys, 3 girls, 2 boys, and 1 girl.
Wow. So you got a big mix.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Family dinners must be crazy.
Yeah, now there's starting to be some grandkids too.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen on Facebook. Yeah. How many? You have 1 child right
I
now?
have 4 little kids.
4 little kids. Wow, this family is growing. That's awesome. So do you plan on like having them, get involved in the business?
If they're interested in it, it would be great. But they're still young yet, so we'll see.
Yeah. Where do you see the future of this industry?
Wow, that's a great question. I think in the past few years, things have changed a lot. I think we're seeing more people getting into this business, which is great. A lot of new blood. The market's very competitive, but at the same time, I think the cost of a lawn hasn't changed for many years. That $35 cut has been $35 for quite a while. There's a number of factors that I think are coming into play this year that are bringing up price pressure. Shortage of people that want to really put their back into something. It's really hard to find people who have a good work ethic.
Yeah.
So in terms of labor, we're strained. In general, the economy is doing pretty well, so most people can afford these services. Then you have a lot of baby boomers who are getting to this point in their life where they want to do less and less things like lawn care.
Yeah, they can just finish the rest of their life stress-free.
They start getting concerned, hey, what if I slipped and fell?
Yeah.
This kind of thing, right?
Right.
Whereas, when our greatest portion of our population is in their 30s and 40s, they're like, hey, I want to take care of everything myself that I can. They're not worried about slipping and falling at that age in their life, at that point in their life. So I think right now is a very good time for this industry just because of the economy, the prices, and then the bulk of the clientele looking for these kinds of services. I think it also means that more and more customers are going to be looking for more services. If there's something that you can do that keeps them off of a ladder, keeps them from doing something that they feel they're not really set up to do, that's another add-on service that I think we'll see more and more people wanting as we move forwards. The equipment side of things, electrification is this big sort of topic that everybody's interested in. Nobody can quite forecast when this market really moves from gas to electric. Myself, I don't think it's that close. Battery technology is progressing, but it's progressed slower than a lot of us thought it probably would.
Yeah.
And it needs to get a lot further before it gets there for bigger equipment. Now, the small equipment that has intermittent power needs, it's a whole different situation. But for the lawnmower side, where it's a continuous work vehicle, it's going to be a while.
What are some of the things Wright Mowers is working on?
What we're working on, we created this product that was a bit of a game changer some years ago, and we were alone in that market segment for quite a while. Now there's other people entering the market. People are looking for different features. They're looking for us to perform, in a lot of different ways, and so we're doing a ton around increasing quality. Year over year now, we've reduced. We were average for warranty claims. Year over year now, we've reduced by double digits the amount of warranty claims that we've had, even though we've been growing. So things like that. We look at all of our parts business. Not all companies do this, but we're looking at reducing the amount of parts we sell, because every part we sell is somebody who had downtime. And parts for many companies are profitable, but it's sort of it's like the gold goose situation, right? You want to take care of that goose. You don't want to necessarily just try to sell parts. So we're doing things around that. We're more competitive on the price this year than we've ever been before. Part of that has to do with a lot of the efficiencies we've done, some of the equipment that we bought, and also just increase in volume lets you, be a little more competitive.
Yeah. I have to say, just from my experience from the outside in and then touring the facility, it seems like you guys are really like right on the cusp of like, like you got some really good products, I feel like, dare I say, like this is a peaking time for you, like in a flooded industry.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to get a piece of the action. You guys are still staying a dominant force, but coming out with some really good quality products, and then seeing how they're made and everything. Just for me, is even more, telling for that. So I think you guys are right there, and that's awesome. So
There's always some more products that we know that would be nice to have, but I think you're right that our lineup right now is real solid and is doing very well for us, and we're very thankful for, I think, kind of the history of how we got to where we are.
yeah,
And, it's a good time to be.
yeah, definitely. Well, thank you very much, man.
Thank-
I appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming out, and you're always welcome.
Thank you. That wasn't that bad, right?